can't change that. We can't change anything. All we can do now as people is just grope through life as best we can. What else can we do? Macrocosmic dramas, broken dreams, bring us to the spot. Fear keeps us tied. So it's understandable then, isn't it? We get numb to it all. And we all know the TV and the newspaper and the booze. It helps keep us that way, doesn't it? Because it's the way the world wants us, isn't it? Isn't it? Somewhere, someone sits alone, crying out into a darkness for someone or something that will never come.
And the film, and essentially why you made it?
Me?
Why did I make the film? Good question. I've been working with Matt, who's the actor in various music projects. We started making music videos. We became more interested in making the videos than making the music, so we just took the next logical step and knocked the music on the head, and then we started looking around for films, and we had a friend of ours, Cinnamon, he's a kind of drunk philosopher kind of guy, and we were kind of egging him on to write some of his ideas down, and he did, and it was more of we were expecting a script, it was more of a rant. So we kind of went, we thought, yeah, fine, we haven't got any ideas of ourselves, so we just took it and we set up in a band practice room in the old mill that we used to practice in, and we did it in an afternoon. That's the beginning, middle and end of the entire story, yeah.
Yeah, well, we shot it on the day of the royal wedding, and it was motivated out of the fact that I didn't want to watch the wedding myself, so I thought I'd rather go out and film a load of people having a party. And I think that when you make most of the stuff that I make is, I make short films mainly, but occasionally I make a documentary if I think I've got a subject matter and a question that I want to ask of the viewer. And the question I wanted to ask the viewer was, is this money better spent elsewhere? And so we deliberately went out and started finding homeless people and kind of people on the fringes who were not necessarily going to be in a party atmosphere. And I think it made for an interesting doc.
So can you guys, basically both quite different films regarding almost documentary and fiction film. Can you guys tell me your processes on how you made the film?
We booked a room, we turned up with a camera, and we went for it really. I mean, there's no hidden secret in terms of how we approached it. It was a case of, do you think we can do this in an afternoon? And we begged and borrowed equipment. We were using household lights to light it. I had some wireless mics to do the audio with, and then we just went through it in a few takes. There's not a lot of shots in there. It's pretty minimal in terms of a filmmaking approach. It's 3 or 4 different angles, and then we edited it together. That's about as simple as it gets in terms of a film. I think when you're starting out making films, people say you should start simple. So we had a script, an actor, one room, one crew. The second film that we've done, we've got 2 actors and 2 crew, so we're growing. So, who knows where we're going to go? But that's how we approached it. Literally, it was a DIY film. There's no way about it. That's how it was.
Well, it was a very good start. So
thank you.
Well, obviously, if you're shooting a documentary, you only need a shadow crew anyway. So I think there was like 4 or 5 of us. And we just wandered around Manchester seeing what parties we could find, basically. And that was basically it, We just wandered around. But I think the good thing about documentaries is that people are just really interesting anyway. and it always amazes me how much they give away about themselves within a short space of time. You know, you just point the camera and talk to them and they'll reveal who they are. You know, and if they don't, then they're out the edit anyway. But we put the interesting ones in, and I think that's what we did. We just wandered around talking to anyone who looked like they were going to be interested.
Cool. I mean, can you guys tell me about the projects you've got coming up and what you want to try and do? And also, what have you done with these films in the sense of have you actually put them into festivals, or have you kind of put them into film screenings? What do you want to do? What do you aim to do?
This film, so this is our first film that me and Matt have done together. We work in collaboration, I think, pretty much. In terms of festivals, we've looked at kind of entering them into a few of the free festivals and a few paid festivals, but I think we've spent probably 3 times as much money entering it into festivals than we have in actually making the film. So that's just something, it's a learning curve for us. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just going in blind and seeing if we can hit the target first time. I don't really know any other approach to that. We just kind of suck it and see. But this is the only first screening as well, so we're really excited about that. Second film, 2 actors, 2 crew, so it's a huge thing for us. That's just about finished now, and we were also working on a comedy sketch show as well, and we've got several other different projects in various stages of development. So more short films, and then I think the comedy sketch thing will be an ongoing project, but we have put together a little team of about 10 people. So quite quickly, within about 6 months of starting this, I think we filmed this August. We've now got probably a crew of about 6 or 7 people that we can call on, and about 10 acting people that we can call on as well. So it's I can feel that we're gathering a momentum on ourselves.
I guess it'll start to snowball as well.
Absolutely, finding people that are interested in doing similar stuff, and you do a bit for them and they do a bit for you, and that seems to be the way it works. Yeah, very much.
Yeah, well, although we shot it 2 years ago, I only cut it about a month and a half ago. It was because I didn't have much work on, so I was a little bit bored, and also quite angry. It's quite an angry cut because, you know, it's based on all of the cuts that are going on at the moment, and plus I had a friend of mine who had kind of committed suicide, and I kind of like thought that this is kind of partially to do with the financial climate. So that's why I made the film on that particular thing, but I just made it for my own, you know, for me really. It's not going to go anywhere. I'll just stick it online. Next for me is I'm doing a short with the BFI, and I'm going to be working with, trying to get some money out of Creative England and for future projects. But you know, we're writing at the moment and kind of doing various things. But it's just all in the planning stages at the moment.
So on the up there?
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, it's a battle, isn't it? It's a constant thing. But also, kind of like, every film that you make is really hard. You know, it's an enjoyable process, but it is really hard making films. But you know, I think that the worthwhile thing is